John, you're live.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I thought you were going to say something first.
Nope.
All right, folks, welcome. Like, what the hell's going on? Welcome to the Bearable Traders pre-market show. Carlos is going to be about 15 minutes late, so you know this is going to be a bit of a trial for all of us. So appreciate the patience from everybody. We'll take a look at what's moving this morning. We'll see if my camera comes into focus. This thing works fine unless I do something on YouTube, and then it doesn't want to. Whatever. You don't want to see me in focus anyway. We'll just deal with it. Yeah. So we got some stuff moving this morning for sure. Brent, I don't know. Can you see the gappers list that Carlos usually shows? I can see the one from Trading Terminal, so I can just work off that. But I just wanted to compare.
Yeah, just work off that one. Usually,
okay.
I have Carlos's screen, so we won't have that for a little
okay.
bit.
Yeah, we'll just start right at the top. So there's a stock QURE, which is Unicure biotech company of some kind. What do they got here? Let's check them out. So they're up. Oh wow, they're up 104%. A lot of volume, almost 11 million shares. This thing, sheesh, closed yesterday around $7. It's about double that now. So yeah, quite a day, which would make sense since it's up 104%, John. So they are a company who has a leading gene therapy product, advancing transformative therapies for patients with severe medical needs. Today announced that the company reached agreement with the FDA on key elements of an accelerated approval pathway for AMT-130, which is for Huntington's disease. So you guys know how it goes. These biotech companies, pharmaceutical companies, they get good news on a drug or a treatment, and it can be quite a day. So we'll see. I'd call that, and I'm not as good as Carlos is kind of picking and choosing what's in play. It's not something I would typically trade, but I think this looks tradable today. So we will go back when Carlos gets here. We'll check out some levels probably on QURE. Are you able to add things to the list here, or is this all out of your reach, Brent?
Nope, I can do it. Let me know what you want on. Do you want this on?
Let's put that down there for now. We'll have Carlos
Secondary?
laugh at me. Some of these picks. Yeah, let's go secondary. Sure.
Got it.
I'm completely guessing here. Next, we have NAMS. NAMS. Let me bring that up on my DOS and check the volume and whatnot. Much lower volume, not quite a million shares. It's up almost 40%. So it is moving. This doesn't look as good as QURE to me. Closed yesterday around $19, and it's hit almost 33 in the pre-market. So it's definitely moving. NAMS announces positive top-line data from pivotal phase 3 Broadway clinical trial. Oh, this is a fun one. Evaluating obicetrapib in patients with atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease and or heterozygous familial hypercholesterolemia. So I'm sure you can all follow along with that. That's obviously huge news. I don't know what any of those words mean. It's up. I'm not going to suggest we put that on either list, Brent. Let's just leave that one off for now.
Sounds good.
But may want to keep it on yours. So I see a bunch of travel stocks moving. At least there were 3 initially. I couldn't find any news. So if anybody in the chat or YouTube has a guess, but AAL, JetBlue, and NCLH have all popped up this morning. Obviously that suggests, kind of like yesterday, we saw a lot of the Chinese stocks moving together. Sometimes sectors move, and it kind of seems like travel is up this morning. And I don't know why. I'm checking to see if any smarties out there. YouTube chat, nobody's got anything. So let's check them out. Let's see if we like one more than the other. So AAL's up 4%, NCLH 3%, and JetBlue is up not quite 1%. I kind of like AAL because it popped up on the list first. So it's the first travel stock that was on the list. The other ones kind of came up later. So AAL up 4%. Volume, I can't really make much out of it. I mean, it's almost 600,000 shares, but I'm not sure what it normally is in the morning. So let's put AAL on the primary let's put it on the primary because I know a lot of people like to trade this.
Got it.
Not again, not one of my favorite stocks, but I know it's popular in the room. So we'll check out some levels on that. Going down. Oh, Google is having quite the morning. So you can trade Google. Question from Dan. Yeah, NCLH are boats. That's correct. They float, and AAL flies through the air. Just do some more advanced analysis there. Yeah, Google's getting quite the move this morning. How much is it up now? It's up 3.9%. Let me just bring this up on DOS. Yeah, it's come down a bit. It hit a high of 183.68 in the pre-market, and now it's pulling back a bit, but still up almost 4%. I believe the news is their advance in quantum computing. Although that news did come out during the market day yesterday, and we didn't really see this kind of reaction, but it may have just taken the market a little longer to digest whether this is important or not. So Sundar Pichai tweeted yesterday, X posted, whatever, uh, about the Willow, their quantum computing chip, and said they've achieved a breakthrough where it can reduce errors exponentially as they scale up more qubits, cracking a 30-year-old challenge in the field. In benchmark tests, Willow solved a standard calculation in less than 5 minutes that would take a leading supercomputer over 10 septillion years, which is much, much older than the age of the universe. So, much older than the age of the universe, below 5 minutes. That's a pretty good improvement. So, I
You don't
think,
say.
yeah, I think that's good. I tried to read. It's one of these topics. Like I try to get smart. Like, hey, John, let's learn about quantum computing so we can move ahead with planet Earth and not be stupid. And I get about 5 minutes into it and I get confused. So some people were claiming it's not as big an announcement as sort of he's claiming, but I don't know. Sounds pretty good to me. So I think that's why Google is moving.
Also,
But in
Elon
any,
Musk is given his seal of approval apparently for the new chips, so maybe that
I
sways
saw
people
he said
too.
like wow or something, which I think
Yeah,
coming from Elon these days, yeah,
look,
that's
that
approval,
could
right?
move it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow is good, and if he makes a meme about you, that's derogatory, then it's bad. That's pretty much how the boost from Elon goes. So yeah, definitely put Google on the primary there, Brent, if you would. That's a no brainer.
Can
And going down the list, Mobile Eye. I don't think I found. Let's see what this thing's doing. MBLY, Mike Bravo Lima Yankee. It's up 3%. The volumes doesn't look particularly impressive. Again, I don't have a pre-market to compare it to. I'm gonna leave that off either list for now. I couldn't actually find any real news. There were some analyst changes, but not all of them were actually good. Some were like remaining hold or maybe one was bumping up to a buy. I know yesterday they had news about a new contract, but again, that's yesterday's news. So I'm not really this just may be some second day movement. I mean, but then again, yesterday wasn't that big a day. Forget it. Let's not look at Mobileye anymore. CLSK was on the list before. That fell off, so that's gone at the moment.
there's
Um
MU,
it,
I believe.
yeah, MU. What was the news on MU? There was something legit there. Yeah, let me bring up MU. Yeah, so they're up 2.6% this morning, and the US Department of Commerce has finalized a subsidy of more than 6.1 billion for memory chip maker Micron to support the construction of several domestic semiconductor facilities, according to the White House, blah blah blah. This is going to be good news for New York and Idaho, expected to create 20,000 jobs by the end of the decade. And they also agreed to preliminary terms for an additional investment of 275 million to expand the chip makers facility in Manassas, Virginia. So MU's getting some money. There's a few companies getting some money these days from Big Daddy government, but MU is one of them. So that supports that. Let's put that on the primary.
Yeah, sounds good. Is there anything you're
It's been,
looking at in terms of anything gapping up that you like?
I like Tesla, and that's definitely my number one stock lately. I'm curious how long I will kind of put it at the top of my list, but Yesterday, it broke that 400 level, and I know that's a big deal. It's not the all-time high, but that century level is a big deal, and it got up to, what did it get up to yesterday? 404.80, and then sold off quite a bit. Sold off more than I was expecting, and, we got down to a low of 378.01 yesterday, and now we're back in the 390s. So I'm curious if it wants to make another run for 400 today or when that might happen, but I'm liking Tesla, and I'm looking on my list here. I actually don't see anything gapping up. No, it's a pretty rough list for me this morning because there's so many flat stocks or they're gapping down, and I really
Yeah, we have
prefer
a lot
gapped
on the
up
gap down.
stocks. Yeah, yeah.
A lot of the
So
Chinese
no,
stocks that were doing very well, and now they're plunging down. So
yeah, and I think that's just a case of what goes up must come down. Honestly, a lot of them had a great day yesterday. I think I was trading PDD when it was upwards of up 12% or so, and so like the big day, and uh and they're just going to come back down again. And if you watch these Chinese stocks a lot, they will gap up and down more than the rest of the market quite routinely. Again, kind of all with each other. So while yesterday was impressive and it was on catalytic news, it's not surprising to see them give so much back. And so that accounts for if I go to my gap down. I mean, we got Billy, Futu, XPEV for sure. And then let's check some of the others that aren't on the list. But Baba's down 3%. Baidu's down almost 4%. PDD's down almost 4%. Yeah. So very similar looking
before
look
that,
for all those.
let's get to the economic news. We kind of skipped that. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
We're a
yeah.
little bit out of
Yeah.
order.
Sorry. We're all over the place, folks.
Yeah, sorry about
Apologize
that.
for that. So, yeah. So there was some news this morning, and I don't even, this is embarrassing. I don't even know what it means. NFIB Optimism Index came out at 6 o'clock, and I have no idea what that is. So it's not something we pay much attention to. The other news is the U.S. Uh, productivity revision and unit labor cost revision. These are revisions to previously released data, so it's not really that big a news either. And U.S. productivity was not revised. It was 2.2% is kind of the expectation, and then labor costs look like they were revised down. I think 0.8% versus 1.4 forecast. So I'm guessing that's a downward revision. But again, this isn't big news. There's not much economic news today. Tomorrow we have CPI, and that's legit. And then Thursday initial jobless claims, so that's legit. So it's really tomorrow and the next day that we need to really perk our ears up for what's happening. So yeah, going back to the gap downs, what else do we got?
Before we do
We
that,
got
Hey, John, good
yeah.
we
morning.
do have Carlos.
Oh, hey.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, John. How you doing, my friend?
Good. We muddled our way through the 15 minutes here. Thank God you're here.
Nice, nice, nice. I'm sure you did fine. All right, yeah, I'm trying to get my camera working. It's not working for whatever reason, but we'll just roll with it, man. All right, so you're going over the gap down list right now?
We are, yeah. We did the gap up, and we liked Google, MU, and AAL. And now I'm seeing we also like QRE. We decided to put it on the secondary. It's kind of a weird one. And we didn't look at PUMP. I don't know what that is.
Okay,
Pump.
QURE. Yeah, I'm gonna add that to my list as well. That looks interesting. So I'll add Google and QURE look to be somewhat exciting. So we'll put that on my list here. Um, if I can. Yeah, let's see here. So we'll add those there for sure. Hmm.
Yeah, you might like
Okay, here we go.
QURE as a primary. Actually, I didn't know where to place that exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I like the volume on it. 12 million shares right now. It's up 104%. So that's nice. Yeah, it looks good. Float on it. I have 42 million, a little bit on the lower side, but it looks good. So I'll add that on there. And then Google, you mentioned, I'm going to put that on my list as well. 2.4 million up 4%. Very active as well. So that those two looking pretty good right now. Next one is AI. So let's go to the gap down, right? Let's go to AI. AI has been very, very active. We saw that yesterday, but today looks much better. I really like AI today. Down 9.7, 4.2. They had earnings last night, right? Did that go through? Man, how they
They
screwed this
did, and
up? They
they
did
were
well.
they were. I
Yeah.
took a trade, like a kind of like a post market high day break, and I did very well. It was very easy trade to take it higher, and I was trading up around the 49 levels by the end of this thing, and I think my highest partial was up above just above 49. So yeah, I was surprised to wake up this morning and see
Yeah.
they've plummeted.
Yeah, that's
I couldn't say
actually
why they got through the
really.
earnings call. Everything went fine until this morning.
Yeah. Brian, I finally got my camera going. I connected and reconnected, so it looks like it's working now. But yeah, AI looks good, man. That looks real good. I'm gonna add that to my list. That is wow, very nice. That's gonna be a lot of fun today. All right, heading down the list, I see all the Chinese stocks that were up yesterday are now down. So I see Billy, Tiger. Where's my good buddy Bob? Is it in here? Bob is in here as well. That's good. So yeah, I'm gonna watch the same. I'm probably gonna watch Baba again today. They're down at 3.1 right now, 635,000. So giving a lot of that back this morning. We got some levels here from yesterday that probably going to play out very good. So we'll keep those there. Let's take a look. I'm gonna reconnect real quick, John. Hold on.
Sure. So we'll also take a look at Oracle. Oracle had earnings last night to after the close, and they immediately went down. So the numbers did not impress for Oracle. And where are they
Yeah.
this morning? They're sitting at down 7%. So it's just not the quarter people wanted for Oracle. What's really happening to Oracle is their cloud business is just getting eaten by Amazon and Microsoft, which are the two big dogs in the
Mm.
business, and they're just not overcoming enough of what analysts wanted to see there.
Yeah, it's a big drop for them today. I mean, they're not going to make my main list, although they traded decent yesterday. Looks like just because the company that it is, their price action is just not great. But today's their day. Like if they're going to do anything nice, it will be today. So yeah, so definitely put it on your list, guys. It'll be on my secondary. I see we're going to hop around a little bit here. I see SMCI, which is one of my favorite stocks to look at recently. These guys are down 3.8, 2.6 million shares traded. They had a red day yesterday. Well, not a red day, but they had a nice sell off yesterday here, right out of the gates. We sold off pretty bad. Sideways action in the middle of the day, and then another great sell off towards the end of the day into the close. Today, showing some more weakness. I like what I'm seeing here, down 3.8, 2.7 million shares traded. John, I'm not sure if there's any news on SMCI. This seems very like an aggressive morning for them to have this drop in this type of volume. So I'm not sure if there's anything out there that's causing some of this madness today. But I do
There's
like them.
n- there's not that I can find. I think sometimes we have stocks that just repeatedly for days on end come up on the list because people have kind of chosen them to be fun retail day trading stocks for a while, and I feel like that's where SMCI is at. Unless anyone's aware of some of the news I didn't see it, but I don't think there's anything beyond what's been happening.
Yeah, I do like this one. Francis is going to be on deck this morning. And looking at my list, that gap down list is massive. Just looking at names that I like quickly to add on here, then we'll take it to you guys. See if you guys something you like. We'll look at it. I see some of you guys already mentioning Meta, so we'll take a look at Meta, see how that's doing there. But for the most part, I don't see any other names that really stick out to me of stuff that I know I like to trade. That trades very well, right? So I see BTDR, so maybe Bitcoin slightly lower today. But I don't see the other heavy hitters. I don't see Coin. I don't see Mara on this deck at all. So that I'm not sure what's going on there. But take a look. I heard you earlier talking about airlines, right? American Airlines is on this list. They're up 4%, 618,000 on the gap upside of things. So that is nice. If you guys remember, they had a great day last week. They gapped up pretty nicely here and continue all the way to 1750 this morning, showing a little bit more strength, less volume. So I'm not sure how good that's going to be. Are you going to be watching any of the airlines today?
I typically don't trade the travel stocks, but it is on the list, and we mentioned before JetBlue and NCLH have kind of popped on and off the list as well. So something is making the travel sector move this morning. Not quite sure why, but I think among those three, I'm guessing AAL would probably be the most popular in our community, Carlos,
Yeah,
more
they
so
get
than
the most
NCLH
volume
and JetBlue.
usually. Yeah,
Yeah.
NCLH. Let's see what's going on there. How about CCL? Usually CCL gets more volume, but no, they're both pretty quiet as far as volume. But yeah, American Airlines is one that I like to trade just because of the amount of volume that they get. But again, today they're still a little bit light on that side. So I'm going to add on a secondary. They had such a great trading day last week. If that can break out to, like, if you look at this daily, right? They're setting up pretty nice to retest that high of 18. And if they get the volume, that can do very, very well. So I do like the strength we're seeing there so far on it. All right, let's stop here, man. Let's get to our chat, which I'm gonna log in now. Let's get to our chat to see what they like. But before that, John, anything that we have not covered yet that you like this morning that we're gonna be watching?
I like Tesla. I mentioned that just before you came on the show. It's definitely moving a lot past couple days. I like the break of 400 yesterday, the sell off, and now it's trying to get some back. So I will definitely be watching Tesla today. And honestly, most of my list is kind of flat or gapping down, and it's just not exactly what I'm looking for. So yeah, I'll
Yeah,
probably
with
watch
you would.
Nvidia like I always do. Yeah, so the usual suspects kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I know
Nvidia
you're
honestly has
not
not
really
been
a
great to trade
that
for
down
me for
person.
about a week or so, but I
Hmm.
can't stop like watching it. Just used to be such a favorite stock that I just still watch it every day.
Carlos, you're on mute.
Actually, Carlos, did
Yeah, go ahead.
you mention which Bitcoin stock did you say was gapping down? It was
Was it
down,
a
right?
BTDR, right? Was it this one?
Yeah,
Yeah, this one
I'm just
here. I
noticing.
mean, mhm.
I'm just noticing coins up 1.8%. So it's actually and MSTR is up 2%. And Mara is up 1.1. So I guess most of them are actually up a little bit in the
Yeah, I mean, if you look
crypto
at
world.
BTDR, it's down, but look at the run it had the last 4 or 5 days, right? So yeah, it's pulling back a
Yeah.
little bit here, but is it really weak? Not really. Compared to like Mara and these other ones, they haven't really moved a whole lot. They've kind of been going sideways. So it makes sense why BTDR is pulling back more than these other ones that are actually somewhat in the green, right? So that kind of explains that. But yeah, it's always fun to watch these. Again, Coin or Mara, the two that I usually take a look at. I'm probably going to add Coin to my secondary list. I don't see anything great on it right now as far as volume and movement, but this thing is moving. I mean, look at it yesterday. I had it yesterday as well, so I did take a look at it, but I did not trade it. I wish I did. Look at this beautiful short, man. This thing comes down all the way from 339 at the open down to almost 313. I mean, it's a $20+ move there. I mean, that is nice. That is nice. So if we can do that again today or anywhere or half of that, right, which it has been doing plenty of times. Look at this list here on the daily. You can see how wide these days have been. It is a great trading stock. So I'm gonna put on my list here. I do like coin. You don't have to take a boatload of shares. You could literally take, 75 shares on this thing and do very well, right? You don't got to load the boat, and that's what you actually want to do. You don't want to go crazy because if you get caught on the wrong side of things, you don't want to be losing. Been just so hot yesterday. Even after all the great stuff that we saw in the pre-market, gave it all back. Had a beautiful selling off day here. So if you took a part of that, awesome. Look how clean that was. Beautiful 5 minute opening breakdown, reverse ABCD pattern, you name it, this thing had it, and it just kept going. So PLTR is looking really nice, and that's what we want to see from stocks that we like SMCI and AI. Hopefully today, PLTR is going to be on this list. I think they're trading so much better than what they used to trade. I was having a rough time around this area with PLTR. The price action was a little bit strange. It's a whole different animal ever since November, right? So we're enjoying some of that action on PLTR here. Did not trade it yesterday, but we had some really good trades in the last couple of weeks out of this one. Amazon. Let's take a look at Amazon this morning, and let's see here. That's yesterday's action, I believe. Amazon today. I mean, it's just trucking away, man. It's pretty much flat right now. You don't have much going on, and this is typical Amazon pre-market activity. We just gotta wait for the market open, right? Um, John, Amazon is on your list, right? It's on your list of like always to watch, or no?
Yeah, it is. And yeah, I probably should have mentioned that when Amazon broke 230 yesterday, which is a big deal. And that's about as high as it got. It just got a hair over 230 and then that sold off much of the end of the day. So yeah, it could be good. Yeah, I'd watch Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon again got to wait for the market open to see what kind of volume you're going to get. It looks like this almost every pre-market action, unless there's some news in the morning, looks pretty quiet and kind of choppy, right? And you still get some really great days out of it. So keep an eye on it. I'm going to add it to my secondary list. We had such a blockbuster list yesterday, and today's not as good, but there's still some decent stuff on here. I have QURE, I have Google, I have AI. Baba once again, although Bob is more of a secondary play here. I don't know how what's going to trade today. I'm actually might end up moving this down. There's some better ones to look at other than Baba today, so I'm going to move that down. And I do have SMCI once again here. They had a beautiful day yesterday. Again, after such a great day yesterday on SMCI and PLTR, we might not get the luxury today again to have those type of moves, but who knows? Hopefully, we can get even half of what they did yesterday today. It's going to be very exciting. All right, let's see what else. Futu. Let's see what Futu is giving us here. Our good buddy V in chat is giving us Futu today. Pretty much down alongside with all the Chinese tickers. Did take off yesterday, though. I had a great breakout. Did not have this on my list. But hold on a second. Futu. Look at that. Day looks nice. How clean was it? Oh, that is very clean actually. Little light volume on the 5 minute, but look at that breakout. Did take off. Eventually gave some back, but man, just rocking it here in the market in the first a couple of minutes of the market open. Um, Today, right now, pre-market action is pretty quiet. Not much going on. Gapping down slightly with all the Chinese tickers this morning. So you just gotta wait for the market open to see what it does. But yeah, yesterday's not that's not like them to trade that clean, but they did very well yesterday. Um, so hopefully you took advantage of that. Let's take over in our YouTube chat. Elevator's giving us NVIDIA. NVIDIA this morning, we spoke about this one a little bit earlier. Right now, again, pretty flat volume. I want to say light because, again, we're so used to seeing NVIDIA like at 10, 12 million. But, they're getting back to this lighter pre-market volume in the morning. We mentioned this, yes. I think traders are going elsewhere on stuff that's actually moving. There's other tickers that are kind of have better momentum. Tesla's one of them. Amazon is one of them. This one's just sideways, right? For the most part, in the big picture, right? In the daily, it just hasn't done much. Hit its all-time highs at 152, and since then hanging out between 145 and like 135 for the most part. Majority of the trading is within those two price ranges there. So still fun to watch. Still great opportunities that can come across on Nvidia. I'm going to put it on my secondary right now. Again, it's kind of flat, but I'll be looking at it closely, even if it's not on my list. Like Nvidia is one of those stocks that I'm always going to pull up to see what's going on, especially if our good buddy the SPY starts doing some fun stuff. Nvidia is one of those stocks that tends to like to do what the SPY does, especially on the sell down. Not so much on the upside, but on the sell down, it definitely wants to be part of it. Google, I do have, so we did speak about that one. John already mentioned that one. That's on deck this morning, looking pretty nice. RDDT, Reddit. How did it do yesterday? Um, Yesterday, I had this on my list. I didn't pay attention to it though. Yeah, nice breakout, beautiful short. You're not gonna get much pre-market today. It's pretty quiet for the most part, and this is typically what Reddit does. But I think it's worth watching, man. I think the stock is interesting. I just like the way it's sitting here on the daily after its IPO. A couple of months back. This thing is just rocking, man. So new all-time highs are over at 181 now. So that looks good. And yeah, secondary for now though. We gotta wait for the market open, see are we in play or not today with our DDT. Was in play yesterday for sure. After the opens, it goes crazy. Yeah, it really does. I agree. It really does. All right, what else, friends? So we looked at that one. Google, we looked at TOL. Is that the Chinese education company? Oh no, it's Toll Brothers. What is this? I don't know what this is, but it doesn't look too nah, this doesn't look too exciting, man. They don't get volume. This is a truck type stock for me. You can roll the garbage on this one. Yeah, I don't um day traders be careful. Make sure your strategy can support the way this thing moves. This is yesterday, right? I mean, this is bad. This is really bad. Only 2.5 million shares traded yesterday, and that's on the high end. And if you guys never looked at a stock that gets that type of volume, you should. You should put this on your list today for educational purposes only, and see how bad it is to read that price action. You're not gonna like it. All right, a few more, then we'll head over to community events and announcements for this beautiful Tuesday morning. We had such a great onboarding class yesterday. Shout out to Dwayne and everybody that joined us. We had like almost 27, 30 guests yesterday. So it was a lot of fun. Some really great questions. We'll do it again this Monday. So if you're joining for either a funded account or a new membership, make sure to join us Monday every night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Me and Dwayne, we go through some really, really great stuff there to get you guys started and set up. BNCI is rocking here, up 70%, 5 million shares traded. Hard to borrow. What's the float on this one? Penny stock, Jordan? Yeah, if you're a penny stock trader, this is it right here. This is on fire. Again, this doesn't fall into what I like to trade. My strategy does not do well with this penny stock. I traded penny stock before when I first got into day trading. Didn't do so well. So stay away from them. But if you are a penny stock trader, this one seems to have a fire being lit under it right now, and it's taking off pretty nice. So if you like it, put it on
2.7 million share float, Carlos.
2.7.
2.7 million. Yeah. So it's definitely low. So
Yeah.
something to think about.
Yeah, it's low here. So again, you just gotta have a plan. You just gotta know what you're doing. It's gotta fit your criteria. If it doesn't, yes, it's fun taking 5,000 shares here at 180 and selling at 240. But that's just if that's not your cup of tea, don't go out there trying to be a hero, right? You don't want to be caught on the wrong side of this thing. So just stick what you're good at, what you can do consistently. Don't get creative with your trading, right? We don't want to get creative with our trade. There's so many other things in life that we can get creative with. Trading is not one of them. It doesn't go very well. All right, John, let's take us through what's happening today on this beautiful Tuesday.
Yeah, what's going on? Bearable traders, we have our strategy webinars tonight. So tonight will be Thor talking about the Camarilla pivot strategy. This is very popular. Thor's book is based on trading with the Camarilla pivot levels, among other things. So if you've been in the room here and you hear people calling out like, "Oh, this stock is at R4 or R3, S4, S3," these levels, and you've been sitting back wondering what are they talking about? Because if you were like me when you joined, you just didn't ask questions and you just try to slowly figure everything out. We were talking about Camarilla pivot levels, so join Thor tonight and get the skinny on what all that stuff means because it's very popular here in the community and they're great levels for support and resistance and helping with like multiple kinds of strategies. And then the next week we have Lenny talking about how to read the pullback and trade the ABCD. So one of the more popular strategies here at Bearable Traders is the ABCD. It's mentioned in Andrew's book, so a lot of people are familiar with it. A lot of people who come through our peak capital trading boot camp focus on the ABCD while they're doing that. So this should be a great webinar to get Lenny's perspective on how to trade that particular setup. So yeah, great webinar tonight and another great one next week.
Yep, absolutely. Memberships, right?
Yeah, and if you want to join us here, the cheap and easy way to dip your toe into the Bearable Traders community is to do that $39 1 week access, which gets you access to the basic courses and the onboarding session, which happens on Monday nights. Happened last night. And most importantly, you get access to the chat room. And I think that's the heart and soul of Bearable Traders. So if you can join us for 1 week for $39, I think that's a really good deal. Come see what it's like to trade in our community, see what the value is in hearing the different moderators throughout the day, the value from your fellow community members. I think you'll really like it. You can get the same level of access monthly for $99 a month, or better deal, go for an elite membership because that's going to get you access to like Thor's webinar tonight. That's an elite subscription access webinar. So you would need that level, and if you want the best deal of all, go get that elite annual and join us for a year because you're gonna spend some time figuring out day trading, and it's something you want to do in a community, and it's going to take some time. So that's probably the best deal up there, if you ask me.
All right, awesome. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Friends, also P Capital. P Capital is starting. The January sessions are starting. So if you want to sign up for that, make sure you do so. So January Trading Bootcamp is open. You can sign up, get more details at pcapitaltrading.com. So again, a lot of fun. The one we just finished, the last one, and can't wait to start the next one. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's not a walk in the park, John. You know this. You got to come in knowing that, hey, you're gonna put some work in. So
Yeah, come ready
looking
to
forward to the
do
new crew
3 months of
joining.
work for sure. Yeah, if you sign up, be ready. And so, and sadly, every so often, in boot camp, we get people like, "Oh, I'm behind. I couldn't fit it in." Just know it's gonna take some effort, but it's worth the value. We get very, very, very
Yeah.
good feedback on people's experience with it.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. All right, excellent, friends. Let's jump in. BNCI. There's some people in chat taking this stock. Jared has done a couple of partials, but I think Jared is a secret low flow trader. I think he's very good at these type of breakouts. He takes them all the time. I feel like so he's partial a couple of times already into 270, into close to 280, and this thing is rocking. So again, just be careful. All
He's a
right,
mad
let's get some
genius.
level.
Only he could trade something like this.
He's yeah, I mean the guys knows what the heck he's doing. He's a great trader, and I'm not only saying that because he's on. I say to everybody, he's really good at what he does. Knows his you know what. All right, QURE friends. Let's start here. So this one is high flying this morning, up 90%. Normally I don't watch stocks like this one. But this could be fun today. This could be fun today. The 40 million shares flow a little bit on the lower side. We do have shares for sure. I do like that. But be careful with it. You want to be aware of your sizing on this thing. The spread I'm going to be looking at very closely. Make sure it's not surprising or anything funky. It should get better at the market open. But again, right now, showing from 10 cents to 14 cents for a $13 stock. That's not ideal. So be mindful of that if you're going to be trading this one today. But I do like it. I think it's in play today. High of the pre-market 1588. The low of the pre-market all the way down at 749. This is where we're up 92% right now. But even in the pre-market action now, we do have some levels we want to mark down. 1395 is a good one there. We also have 1293 and of course 1203. Right, when you have a stock that's low price like this has moved so much in the actual pre-market itself, you can find some levels for that you can use. We're looking at it weekly because we got to go back all the way to last year to get some levels above the price action now. That's going to be right around 2022. We do have off the weekly 17. I will see if we can get there. There's a stretch from now 17, and we also have 1841. So two levels in case this thing does really get going. It has taken off in the past, so it can do it again. It did it here back in July. Went from 7 to 11, and today we're doing from 8 to 16. So let's see how well this is going to do. So far, looking good. And we do have plenty of shares for short if we do see a short opportunity. Here's Google. And Google is one of these stocks that I wish I could trade more than what I do. Usually when they're in play, there's other stuff that looks better. But today they're leading the way here. They're up 4.5, 2.7 million shares traded. I mean, again, pre-market action looks good. Their price actually could be funky at times. I hope today's not one of those days. 178.89 is a great level, and also you have 180.96. And when I say funky, I'm talking about it's not as easy to read as like an Apple, even Amazon when it's in play. The price action is easier to read. So some stocks that fall within the Magnificent Seven, Tesla, that are much easier to read, right? So that's just what I mean by that it could trade funky. That's what I'm talking about. They're the price actually I find to be a little bit, how can I explain it? Not choppy, but again, just inconsistent with some of the other things I see out of the big guys, right? John, I don't know if you're the same way about Google. I know you watch this ticker all the time. What's your thoughts on the way it moves in the price action?
Um, I put Google with Apple, Amazon, and Google together, and they're all stocks of sort of a similar, like they're high priced, and their breakouts are not very big for their size. So it's a tricky thing to size appropriately to buy enough to make the trade worth it and not buy too much that you get in trouble. Also, it's usually not. It's in my top 12, but it's kind of like in the bottom half for sure. But today, it's got a real catalyst. I'm actually putting it on my primary. I'm about to send my list to Brent right now, and Google's going to be on there this morning.
Yeah, I man could not agree with more. Google and Amazon, those two, I like side by side, but when they're in play, they're great. Like today's one of those days where I could see them it being really good traders. So definitely looking forward to that. Love the pre-market on this one is 177.48. That's all we have to mark down, and you're set when it comes to Google. Let's take a look at AI. So AI here is down 8.2. Man, hopefully all the fun is not over. This is a great move so far this morning. The high of the pre-market on this was 46.34, and the low is all the way down at 37. So again, this is a big move already. Hopefully, there's some left here for us at the market open. But even if we stay within this range, I mean, we can have a good time. So either way, I think this will be a nice one to watch today. Towards the bottom, let's just get one level, 35.48. You know what? We'll do two just in case the weakness continues. 35.48 and 33.84 are two gray ones. And then above that, I believe we been higher, or are we hitting all-time highs on AI? Nope, we've been higher a while back. Actually, last year we're just barely made it. 46 40 is our highest, I believe, right now. We just barely made it. 48, 45, 85 is the most recent high. That's the 52-week high there. So we'll mark that. We'll see if we can get into that territory in the next couple of days. But right now, showing some weakness after earnings on AI. Volume is there. This will be a nice one today. SMCI, again, also showing some weakness. High of the pre-market 45.29, the low hanging out at 41.93. So we'll slam a level there. I like the daily too. Like you saw the breakout we had yesterday, couldn't hold, unfortunately, sold off, but it was a beautiful sell-off. So if you took advantage, great. But we're back within this range that we've been stuck in for like the last week or so. All right, so that's your support and resistance there. Let's see if we can break out of that. Towards the bottom, I'm just going to mark down 39.58 in case some of this weakness continues into the market open. But SMCI, again, it's been a real fun one to keep an eye on. Another one gapped up and just gave a lot of it back, and it's right back to where it started two trading days ago. High of the pre-market 74.42, and the low is going to be at 71.60. So once you do that, you're pretty much set. Towards the top, you don't have to add anything. You see these two highs and lows there with that new all-time high at 80.79. So that's your new all-time high there on PLTR. Towards the bottom, in case we see some more weakness out of this one, 70 is a great level. And then the big level of resistance where we had this beautiful breakout, 67. 58. So that's not far fetched when you're getting some really decent moves out of this one. If the momentum is there, you can definitely get towards any of these levels that we have marked here. So that's my list so far. QURE, Google, AI, SMCI, PLTR on deck, and then on the secondary, we got a bunch that can be really good. So we got Bible, we got Oracle, American Airlines needs volume, so we'll wait to see what happens there. Coin might be one that I actually end up moving up just to watch something. I'm gonna move up Coin, guys. We got a little bit of time here before we hand it off to our guys and go through our moderators list. But Coin can actually be very, very interesting, right? So let's look at this one. High of the pre-market 319.61, and then the low of the pre-market 313.80. And you're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last two trading days. I love this sell-off that we had yesterday. This was very, very clean. It's a $30 drop there. Let's see what it does today. Volume is a little bit light at the moment, but I think after a drop like that, I think it's worth seeing what the second day is going to look like here. All right, I see our moderators got their list in. Most importantly, our good buddy Brian is ready to go with his list as well. So let's see what they're looking at, and then we'll hand you off to Brian to take you through the market open.
All right, let's see what we got here. Let's look for the similarities. I can easily read this to you, but what's the point? So I'm seeing Tesla on Thor, Pierre, and myself. So that's popular today. Google is popping up 3 times here. Mike, myself, and Phil. And what else is common among these? Those are the most obvious ones. And I also see some SMCI, Apple, Rivian from Eamon. Eamon always looks at the weird ones. Rivian and UNH for Eamon. Uh, so yeah, it's interesting list here. Is there a second slide here, or is that the end of it? And then big rise coming in with Apple, Tesla, Google, Nvidia, and I think that should be QURE, I believe. Cure. No IPOs today and no SPACs.
All right. Beautiful thing, man. Taking a look at Apple. Someone mentioned Apple, so I'm looking at that one here. I know Brian has that on deck. I saw I had a big day yesterday. Man, I had a really clean day yesterday. Yeah, this it's one of the stocks like Nvidia that I can, even though it's not on my any of these lists here, it's not on my secondary, it's not on my main list. We'll be looking at it. We'll be looking at Apple, and someone's going to call it out for sure. But I do like what I have here so far. It's different. I got to tell you, this list with QURE, Google, and AI, these three are not typically stuff that's on my main list, but today they all look good. So looking forward to that. Gonzalo, good morning to you, my friend. As we wait for Brian to get in, anything else that we got to cover, John? Anything else that we missed?
I don't think so. I was going to mention AI though. I put that on my list. I, I I've said before I don't typically like gapping down stocks to trade for breakouts higher, but I like how much
Hmm.
this thing popped on earnings, and I like how much it's given back. It gives it a wide range of interest, so I think AI might actually be good for a breakout higher today. So I did add that one to my list.
Yeah, because the earnings were good, right? So this could be maybe an overreaction to a downside.
It
Who
feels
knows,
it
man? But
feels kind of like an overreaction. Yeah. Well, it could have been an overreaction how much they pushed it after the earnings too, so you never know. But it's just such a
that's
wide
true.
range of price now. From $37 to $49. It's a nice big range where a lot of interesting things can happen. So definitely interested in that.
Yeah.
And coin's going up a
Yep.
bit
Yep.
more now. It's up 2.1%. So maybe I'll be looking at that.
Yeah.
Coin's been a little tricky for me lately, so I don't know.
Yeah, I like coin here, so we'll see where it goes. I love the last couple of days. We had two big sell-offs here that were very clean. Uh, Not great volume. Like coin is very steady at what is this? 17 million, 18 million. So you don't get this crazy volume. This is why you got to be careful with the spread. Always take a look at it, make sure it's nothing out of this world. And I gotta admit, I've taken the trades with this stock with a higher spread than I would like, but it is a $300 stock. I just manage the sizing, right? Just take little shares. Like I literally there's been
Yeah.
situations where I've taken only 50 shares on this thing because that's how comfortable I felt with my risk. Like I'm not taking more than that. Because if you get caught, $4 in the wrong direction, you're in trouble. So you don't want to be taking a huge amount. So even like 50 shares, 75 shares, 100 shares can do very well if you get a move that's $30, right? So
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
And it
Um,
is a high spread stock. And, for the beginners
yeah.
out there, the spread is the difference between, uh, so you look at your level two, that goofy list of numbers, the big list on the left and the big list on the right. The very top of that list of numbers we call the level one, or the current bid and ask, or the current bid and offer. And the difference between those things is called the spread. It's the same thing when you buy a house. If someone's selling a house for $600,000 and you offer them 540, and that's your offer, there's like a spread between you as the buyer. You're offering 540, the seller wants 600. The spread on your disagreement, so to speak, is $60,000, right? It's the same with stocks. If we go to coin right now, as a matter of fact, the current bid is 316.26 and the current offer is
Mhm.
316.83. It just changed a little bit, but the spread right now is 58 cents, and that's going to change. It's not a constant thing all day. So now it's 53 cents and now it's 59 cents. So you gotta kind of watch the spread for maybe 30 seconds or so and sort of average the number in your head to get an idea of what you can expect. But why it matters is if you bought coin right now, you're going to pay what the seller wants. You're going to pay the offer or the bid or the ask, excuse me, so which is currently 316.36.
Mhm.
You immediately become a seller, assuming we're talking about a long position here. And so now in the current highest sell price is three, or buy price is 316. So it, the point is with a spread, you with a high spread stock, you get yourself into a trap immediately. So if the spread's
Yeah.
48 cents when you buy the stock and you buy 100 shares, you start the trade down $48. 100 shares times 48 cents is $48. And you got to overcome the spread, first of all, to even start making money. Now, higher spread
Right.
stocks
You're
can
gonna break
move
even.
more as
Mhm.
well. Yeah. So MSTR is another high spread stock, expensive, but we know it moves a lot, especially when it's in play. It can move 20, 30, $40 in a day. So there's opportunity there, but you got to understand the risk in the spread when you start the trade.
Yep, absolutely. I do. I believe I hear Brian. Friends, before we hand you off to Brian, have a great trading day. John, thanks for covering this morning. I was late running with the little ones, but I appreciate your help coming on board and getting the show started for us. Good morning, Brian. How you doing today?
Good morning. Good morning, John. Good morning, Carlos. I'm doing well, thank you.
What's up, Brian?
Uh, yeah, so it's looking like another another good day for trading some stocks, making some money, hopefully. Uh, you never counted chickens, but yeah, I'd watch Meta too. You know, I kind of feel like it pulled back yesterday, might get bought, but um, yeah, there's seems to be quite a few things on deck here that could be good at the open. Let's take a look at that. There we go. My little light's in the way. Looks like a boom. There we go. All right. So this is Google. It does look like it's got lots of sort of some orders to the upside to 184 anyway, which isn't very far from where it is right now. So maybe a bit of a pullback at the open. Cure and the cure, yes, I did put the C there instead of Q. So in terms of what I'm watching, so yeah, it's kind of a messy chart a bit, I would say at this point. The big order at 1560. It's probably something that could run at the open. Apple's heading to 250 maybe this week. I mentioned that yesterday. Um, PLTR, I've still got up on my screen here. It's got some downside, 71, 70 here. I haven't got a chart up on my platform here on PLTR. There's Tesla, got some big orders way up here, close to 400. Nothing much to the downside, so I'd watch for Tesla. Tesla actually could really take off at the open here. There's Nvidia. Nvidia's getting some bids right now. So yeah, like I said, it looks like Nvidia's looking bullish. Tesla's looking a little bullish. Getting every stock I'm watching almost is dropping right now. Google, Apple, Cure, it's coming back up. Tesla pulled back a bit. All right. Let's open up another screen here. All right. Good morning, all the people watching us on YouTube as well. Apple's dropping. It's interesting. It's coming back down. Looks like it's going to go red on the day. It's right at PDC, previous day close. Nvidia's gone through 139. Google putting back a bit. Let's take a look at that again. Yeah, still a lot of orders up here. Looks like a lot of the China stocks are pulling back after yesterday's run up. Is there news on Google? How come it's up so much?
They
Yeah.
announced the new quantum chip, apparently.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was listening to that last night. Yeah, sort of a competition for NVIDIA. Oracle could be interesting too. I'm kind of thinking Oracle looks like might be a good what I call a rising devil trade, which means it's going to maybe move up at the open, pop up at the open. We get up sort of into that 177 area and then short it. It is looking weak. Don't like this spread on it is 30-40 cents. John was talking about that at the just a few minutes ago, but we'll see what it does at the open. It's not under short selling restriction, but it probably will be at the open.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, good sir. How are
Hey,
you?
good morning. Good. You sounded lonely, and I thought I would change that.
Yeah,
So,
trying to keep the conversation going with myself.
yeah, see,
So
I
good
can do that.
morning,
The
sir.
problem is when I argue and one of us loses and one of us wins. That's really the issue. Good morning,
Yeah.
all people. Good to see everybody out there. We are going to open here in about 35 seconds. Sorry I wasn't on a little earlier to help my buddy Brian out, but he sounded like he was getting you through some really dropping some
Yeah,
knowledge bombs on you
we're
there.
all
So
good. We're all good.
it's good to have. What are you liking this morning, bud?
Actually, I just I think Jared just threw out Oracle in the room there, that name, and I remember I traded it actually last night after hours, and it got a bit of a drop on it, but
I'm
now
kind of
it's
liking
shit.
I like AMD kind of around the open here,
Here we
and then
go.
a few others.
Oh, look at Google's
Like a
dropping
few high to
hard.
YouTube.
Yeah, look at that. I knew video was going to take off there. Now it's at yesterday's high, so just be careful about that.
That was a lot of selling.
Yeah, a lot of selling hit Google right away, high volume. So just keeping an eye on things.
Order
There we
book
go.
pretty
Just
bearish.
shorted a bit of Google or Oracle, I should say, at 172.50. I'm just going to cover some here, 171.38. Might just pop back up here. We'll see what it's going to do.
There we go.
Still don't
Yep,
like
I'm
the
working on getting
spread
my
on it.
screen up. I went ahead and dropped a couple some contracts short on the NQ at the open. The order book for the tech sector came out pretty weak right at the open, so we're getting a little bit of a drop here. I was really hoping it was going to go up, and I'm going to still watch it. If it goes up and tries to sweep the high, then I'll get out of it and do that. But right now, the order flow that came out was some pretty heavy selling.
Yeah,
Let's
so
see here.
just watching what Oracle's going to do. I got out of most of it on that drop. Let's see if it comes back up. Might take another short here. Google's starting to move back up. Wow, that was a nice little opportunity to get long there on that pullback. Yeah, so
This is what I'm talking about here. I'm watching AMD in a couple of these because if the market tries and like they try and go up and sweep the top, AMD could go up and run through a couple of really good levels and sell. But right now, it's nothing I'm watching is in a really good spot for me. So I'm just kind of hanging and I'm just waiting for us to get there. Holding a couple futures short. Hey, Dalton, good to see you this morning.
And the out of the remainder of Oracle. It's going, but I'm long some Google. 183.90. It looks like it's going to break out here. I wish I'd have gotten that on a pullback. Actually, even going to sell some here at 184.44. Looks like there is a big order there at 185. This pullback could be an opportunity to add. And just added it to 170.
So right out of the gate, it would seem like our volume kind of out of the gate, a lot of selling, and then as we've tried to buy back up, the market has, it hasn't come in with a lot of buying, but I'm waiting for is to see one thing the Qs and the NQ love to do is they come up and they sweep the high of like pre-market. So they'll set up really weak, bring in a lot of traders short, and then they'll come up and they'll sweep through the high of pre-market or get really close to it, stop a bunch of people out, and then they'll start selling. So you got to kind of really pay attention to the kind of volume you get as you go through the sweep. If you see a really big volume signal and they blast through, then maybe they're just going to rally. But what I've noticed out of the past 4 or 5 days now in a row, actually, is they either sweep the low of the previous day or they'll sweep the pre-market high or the pre-market low, depending on if it's a narrow range or a wider range day. So I'm kind of waiting to see if they try and do that.
Sold some more 184.60 on Google. Sold a lot of that stuff back that I just added on that pullback. What else is going on? I haven't been watching much else. Ooh, Oracle, look at that. Oracle is looking like it's going to drop again there. Here we go. We're still looking at that. Still looking at that 185 level on Google. It keeps there's some sellers there that are kind of front running that level. There we go. We're gonna pop. We're gonna pop, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Helps when you talk nicely to it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
It does help. It likes it.
There we go.
It loves being sweet talked.
Yeah.
I'm watching Tesla here.
It did hit 185 there. It just touched it.
Look at the size of the order wall Tesla just ran into. Here they go to try and sweep this high on the Qs.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of more of this because I didn't like the way it kind of hit that 185 and pulled back. So I was hoping for just a little bit of a push through 185.
So on Tesla, they've been using this new like really dense order wall, and I've never seen them reject it. They always buy through it. So just FYI, like I've never seen them go up into this order block like this under 400 and actually run away from it. And I've seen them doing it for like a few days now. So it's
Yeah.
kind of
Look at
interesting to
this.
see this, but it looks like you would think innately, like, oh, this is going to be so many orders. There's like no way they're going to like go through all these orders. But you would be
Yeah.
amazed, like they do it like every time. Like they just eat through it. Like it doesn't phase them at all. So it seems it's a market maker activity that's a little new for Tesla. I haven't seen this kind of but look how they went right into it. You figured they would have rejected it, but it'll be interesting to see. All right, Qs are finally in the right spot. They're about to sweep that high. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it looks like Qs are going to break out here.
I want to see what happens when they come through this, because it's technically a lower range today. So I want to see if they're just trying to set up so what they'll do is they'll come up and they're just going to sweep this pre-market high here, stop a bunch of people out, and then just roll over and dump the other direction. See, there's our wick right to R3. We haven't filled our gap to PDC yet as well on the Qs, which, Qs likes to fill its gap to PDC. How's that running these days? Let's see.
All right, let's see. Sort of do or die here with the rest of my shares on Google. It's got to bounce off this this moving average, or
still haven't gotten my volume signal yet.
It's touching this 9 EMA right now. It's kind of what I use as a gauge for whether we're in an uptrend or a downtrend. So it bounced off there. I just don't know if, look at Tesla. Tesla's still looking good, eh? Still looking like it wants to go to 400.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for on Tesla. That's where if I'm going to play with, that's where I want to play it. ATR extensions right near R4. So like if it ran its full ATR today, it'd get up to around 405.
Right.
All right, there's the sweep. Did you see it on the Qs, everybody? Did you see how we just went up through there and broke through? Now let's see what they do with it. Let's see if they buy and ignite. So what we're looking now for is an upward break with an ignition. If that's the case, then we're probably going to rally higher. If we have a failure here, this would be the point where, this is kind of our inflection. If we have a failure here, then there's a good chance we'll run the range back down to those bids. Let's see what happens.
It's got in just playing a little Tesla calls here, 400s. I'm in at 980. See if I'm liking Thor's narrative. I'm gonna eat through this this order wall here. As Thor would say, nom 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 nom.
Exactly, little Pac-Man, nom nom nom.
Yeah.
Nvidia, everyone that's long in Nvidia right now, you've got you hit your upside extension in about 50 cents. So FYI, it doesn't mean it's gonna stop there. You just run your ATR in about 50 cents. So you'll definitely run into some sellers. because many of the algorithms are going to start hitting at the ATR extension. So just pay attention to that. Here it goes. This is fun. If your sound cut out, make sure you
Okay, here we
refresh.
go. Yeah, here we go. I'm just selling some calls here on Tesla, 10:30, and it's not even 10:30.
Not even 10:30.
No.
Oh, I was saying if you're long on NVIDIA, keep an eye out for large volume because you're near your ATR extension now. So you've gone about as far as you should go.
Yeah, 60-minute charts right at R4. Ah, this market. Gotta love it.
I might short Tesla at R4. I don't know 100%. We'll have to see what it looks like, what the order book looks like, and if they're selling. This is from the low of the day.
Oh, looks like QURE, cure, or queer. QUER, it looks like it has been halted on a volatility halt. That means it either went up a lot or down a lot. So not sure if people are trading that, but I kind of thought about it. I kind of looked at it at one point when it was trading just under 14 and it seemed to be holding there. Anyway, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Too many things to watch this morning, like Google. Google, here we go, back up to 185.
All right. See what I mean? So we broke through that sweep on Qs and it started running. So that was that inflection point where it just kind of was going to do, and they brought it, they trapped it and brought it. It was pretty good. I ended up cutting those couple futures contracts I was holding as it came back through. Didn't cost me much, thankfully. Now I'm hanging out, watching, waiting for a really nice setup here. I kind of like where Amazon's at right now, so kind of looking at this one here for something maybe.
Like in Google, still hanging on here. We've got through 185 now. Ooh, NVIDIA's ripping too. God, this scares me. It's just in a little bit, it's just it just seems it seems to could have just bought it just about anything. There are at least a few stocks this morning, and they just Google, NVIDIA, Tesla, all looking strong this morning. So I got out of some more of those Tesla calls, 1050. How's our people in YouTube land doing? Everybody doing okay over there? ATR extension. Allison is asking you what ATR extension is.
So, Allison, so when I just hit Amazon short, by the way, R3.
Okay.
ATR extension, what I mean is, so you would be amazed at how precise the amount of distance tickers move every single day. Like what I mean is like for instance, the ATR on Amazon right now is $4.95. You would be amazed at how often Amazon will move exactly $4.95. Right. So one of the things we're often looking for, because the ATR is created by basically hitting the same highs and lows on multiple days over and over again. But even then, the market making structure tends to have a spread, and that spread tends to have like a consistent control to it. So it ends up being kind of like interesting how you can see these tickers where they run their exact ATR almost day after day. So on like Nvidia, for instance, if Nvidia came off of its low of day, it's $4.63 is its ATR, right? So off of the low of day, if you go, if you run that range, then I'm sorry, we calculate off of pre-market low. So because that's the way TOS does their ATR. And if you notice that extension, you'll see, look where the indecision came in on Nvidia here. This pink line right here is our calculated upside for the ATR. So it ran right into it. And so I was saying to everybody is, this doesn't mean we're going to reverse right here by any means, right? We exceed our ATR all the time, but you will have algorithms that are programmed to sell at the ATR extension, right? So from low, this is the ATR extension to the top side. So for in DOS, if you're using ATR in DOS, your 30-day period is too much. Use 14-day, not 30. 30 is it's too verbose. You need something a little bit more precise than that. So I would go with like 14-day.
Nice
My
short on
pleasure.
Amazon, by the way.
Yeah, it had a really nice drop. It popped right back up afterwards, but it was really nice. Extension as far as I expect it to go. Like an AT once you're beyond ATR. So from that low to the high, that's an extended price. But you can see here, look out on Nvidia. Look how beautifully this is reversed right off of the ATR.
Yeah. Took the rest of Google off at 186. And that was it. That was all she wrote. Google.
All she wrote.
Googly. All right. You might get to that R4 on Tesla. We're still going.
Yeah, I'm watching that one. Tesla's
You
my
are
play I had on deck for like a half hour to an hour in. And notice here where our ATR is at on Tesla, it's just above our R4. So if we can get up around
right.
404 to 405, that's where I'd really like it to happen. Although it doesn't always, because remember, if it sells from here, it could run all the way to 386 to the downside, and that would fulfill its ATR to the downside. Right. So right now, if we went from the low, our ATR is up here. But if we sold from here, our ATR is below low of day or below PDC. So you could short Tesla now towards PDC, right? And if it goes through PDC, it'd be a very lovely move. So the reason I use this and I factor this in so much is because I'm not a momentum trader, I'm a range trader, right? So I need to know what my ATR is, because most of my trades are going to try and take advantage of the ATR. I want to get short as high as possible so I can hold for a long time, as long as I can. What study is that would draw ATR lines? That's mine. That's custom, AJ. I can just share it with you in the BBT chat. But that's all of these, everything you're seeing on your screen here in BBT, all of these cam plays and everything. This is all my coding that we've developed. So it's not something you can just get through TOS.
See, there you go. See, that's the advantage of being the member in this community. You get some awesome tools. So does that only work in TOS?
This one works in TOS. Yep. This one's for TOS. DOS doesn't have the flexibility for the on-screen stuff, but we're actually coding this for Ninja right now as well. So, which, for those of you who use IB, you can also you can do that in Ninja as well. very, very similarly.
does.
And I'm actually looking at maybe trying to trade equities through Ninja to see how that feels, just because I would love to be able to do this with equities more. I find TOS clunky for trading. Think or swim, correct, Steve? Acronym TOS.
Yes.
Does DOS is DOS an acronym, or is it just like German, like DOS Trader? You know what I mean? Like
Das
a
Boot.
trader.
That's
you know? DOS Boot.
a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. I honestly, I don't know. I should.
Oh, it is. It's
Should
direct
ask.
access. Direct
There you
access
go.
software. Direct access something or
Something
another.
like that.
I
Yeah,
like my version way better.
that's what I do. Yeah, I like yours too. Go with the
Das Boot
German.
up.
Yeah,
DOS Boot. DOS Trader.
that's three.
It's like everything, but it sounds angry because it's German.
Yeah, run by a woman actually, who came up with it. She's pretty amazing. Very very motivated, and obviously pretty tough. She got that going in a when it was even more of a man's world. So yeah, got kudos to her to get that thing going. But she also has some influence, and when we were in New York, we were able to. She got some of our members in on the trading floor. Got to watch the opening bell. Of course, Thor has been there as well. Talked with his Einstein-looking buddy. He became good buddies with Peter, eh?
I was Tomo in the chat room was asking, does German sound angry to you? So I have some German family that is like very German speaking, and yes, it absolutely does.
Yes, it does.
One of my favorite TikTok channels that I follow is this German guy who just reads back stuff, like he'll read the
Okay.
titles for Disney movies, but in German. And it's
Okay.
just hilarious. He does intentionally make it
That's
sound
hilarious.
extra angry just to amuse me. But yeah, it's hilarious. But I love it. No, yeah, it is. But I love it. But not bad angry.
That's
Just
pretty funny,
fun
man.
angry.
Yeah. I can't believe you watch German YouTube guy. That's hilarious.
Oh, he's just he's like titles of romance movies, but in German.
But in German. What can't you find on YouTube anyway?
Yeah, I am too,
sure.
Tamo. I mean, not obviously born there, raised there, or any of that kind of stuff. I've
I'm
got quite a
short.
few members of
I'm
my
short
family that are
NVIDIA.
German. So all jokes, all fun, obviously. But it's fairly common thing. That's why there's channels about it.
I'm
Anyway,
short NVIDIA right now, guys.
Window, that one.
Just around 141. See what it does here. It's sitting, it's kind of between some moving averages, but kind of looking weak here. Here we go. I'm gonna cover some just to give myself some a little bit of a comfort zone here. So just covering some at 140.69.
Daily
A bit of a
inspiration. I don't
drop
have to
there.
I don't have to buy on a pullback, or sell on a pullback. It just depends on your strategy set. Some people like buying in on the weak volume retest of an area. Some people like to buy the break. Other people like to short the extension. Like my Amazon trade for instance, I shorted like before it even made a new 1 minute low after it ran into the level I was looking at, but the volume on the sell was really, really good. So I like that.
Man,
So, and I guess I'll backpedal a little bit for my German peeps in here. Obviously, I hope you guys know, like, we're having fun and those are jokes. And if you guys don't understand that your language sounds a little rough, I mean, I don't think you're being an honest German. I have
yeah,
German family and stuff. Don't get sensitive on me, YouTube. Like, I don't write a, I don't need letters to
yeah,
Andrew
don't,
saying Thor was making fun of Germans. Because I
yeah,
wasn't. We were just having fun. I'm
don't,
like, most of my genetics has some German in there, so I just see if 3 or 4 comments in here. I can feel the sensitivity
anger.
of the puckering. You know what I mean? And I know, and that's what I'm saying. So sensitive Germans, who knew, right? Like I thought we could have fun, but
Yeah, you're
we'll
just
just
going to
roll.
get a lot of angry
There's so
stuff
many jokes
on
here
Twitter.
that we could make.
So, I just felt like I thought I took the really lean version of all this, but I, just
Yeah, I
trying to keep
thought so
things fun.
too.
Russell Crowe, are you not entertained? You know what I'm saying? I was trying to give you some credit for
Hmm.
coming up with DOS Trader, but you didn't. It just meant direct access software.
Okay, here we go. Well, I'm still short
Love y'all.
NVIDIA while
You know I do.
we're talking German here. I'm looking for this VWAP, sort of 140.20. So we get down here. Ooh, liking that. All right.
I still think NQ is more likely to close its, to go back towards its lows. I really think they did it. I was expecting not as aggressive of a sweep. I still think they basically did the same thing. I think they just rallied up into this range, trapped a whole bunch of shorts, squeezed it out, and then rolled. I'm still kind of feeling the same way I sold before. We opened kind of mid-range. We went into a selling range. We have not really been in a buying range yet. So I don't really see why we would rally out from here. Although the market's been doing some really weird, weak volume rallies and squeezes lately. So I guess it's doable, but I don't know. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm just going to kind of sit here and hold this short I've got going and see what we're working with. But that being said, it is 10 o'clock and I do have an appointment I got to run to, my friend. So I'm going to go ahead
Okay.
and take off. I loved your early trades, man. Those were phenomenal. So if
Yeah, it worked out well.
keep that going with good money, man. I'm still looking to make money, but hopefully I'll get some here shortly. But anyway,
Yeah,
anybody out there, love y'all
for
all.
sure.
Have a good one, and
Thanks,
I
Thor.
will
Take
see
care.
you all on if the party people don't show up tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll have some more fun. I'll talk to you later.
Right on, man. All right. Thank you, Thor.
Bye.
Thanks for coming on. And if you really want to at Thor and tell him you hate him because of his German, making fun of German, just throw him a tweet. But yeah, it's all good here. We have fun at BBT, and if you were at if you were down in Colombia, you would have seen some of us just having a hell of a time partying it up at night.
I actually got a great beach photo of you.
Oh yeah, please don't show it.
Oh,
Oh, too late.
too late.
It's okay.
You look
It's all
great.
good. Yeah. That's my rum and coconut. Yeah, we were at this beach club and they had the DJ there, electronic dance music. We were all dancing with our drinks, jumping in the water when it got too hot, getting burned.
Yeah, looks like you guys had a great time.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. And one of the funniest part was Andrew. Andrew never came to the beach party, so he missed out. Just I guess he had had a late night and just couldn't get out of bed, so that was it. So it looks like Nvidia is going to come back up here, stop me out on the rest, but still got a nice little move down to. Actually, it did pretty close to what I call a 920, which which is when you have a stock that's strong for the first sort of half hour or so, and then it kind of gets some profit taking, pulls back, drops below the 9 EMA, but then finds the 20 EMA on the 2-minute chart and just and bounces off that. So initial loss of the 9 EMA, but then the 20 pushes it back up again, and yeah, so I stopped out of the rest of that flat on the remainder, but that's, like I said, that's okay. Took some profits on the way down as it was selling down into the 20 EMA there. But again, what if you look at Bookmap, what kind of concerned me here was, we had a nice trend going. Had a bit of a bounce here. That was a concern because it started to take out this this prior low. So we went up, and then we made a lower high. So this pullback, buyers were waiting on the pullback, and we didn't get back down to this level here. So as soon as I saw this starting to trend back up again, this is a pretty strong indication that buyers are stepping back in. What else going on? Oh, Tesla's back at high of day here. I know Thor was mentioning this 404, 405, this 405 level, 406, possible area to short it. And just looking at that Google trade, just top ticked that last bit out at 186, and that's pretty much where we topped out. Stepped in. This QURE is looking a little bit weak here. Probably going to drop. Let's take a look. Bookmap. Order book looks pretty bearish actually. So it's kind of lost the VWAP, lost that support level. So that's never good. If you're on the opposite side of that trade. Think about where we are right now. This is kind of we're kind of getting close to the low of day, which there could be some support here, just under 14 on QURE. So could break here. DOST IB does have shares for short, so 1.2 million. Still looking like there's trying to support it at 14. Tesla kind of looking interesting here. It's right at yesterday's high, and it's already pushed through it once. It's going again. Seems to want to go higher. Okay, I'm not in any trades right now. I don't have any positions on. I'm kind of looking to see if I can find something that's kind of interesting. Tesla may break out here, but there isn't a lot of orders until you get to sort of, there's a bit of an order at 406, 408, 410, but it's, you know, we already pushed through this sort of 405 stuff that was sitting here. 50-50 on whether Tesla drops here or goes higher. It's making higher lows, but it looks like it's going to go higher. See what it does on this push here. R4 is just sitting. Where is R4? We're getting pretty close to it right now, sort of 407 area. Qs are breaking out. SPY is back at high of pre-market, high of day. IWM is down. The Dow is down a bit. Well, if you're long Tesla, it's looking good. I did have some calls earlier, but I don't have any anymore. 400s. Traded the 400s. I think I got in on them around what was it, sort of 1080 area. Now they're trading at 1475, 1460. It's the kind of leverage you get with options. Again, we talked about this yesterday. You know, you really can, with a small investment, you can really take advantage of these nice moves. Just gotta remember that the knife has two sides to it, so you can lose a lot of money pretty quickly if you're wrong on the move. So that's why you really need to understand how to read the price action and have your trading plan in place, so you know where you're going to stop out if you're wrong, with not letting a large loss wipe you out there on one trade. Airlines have been doing really good this year, the last couple months. UAL up again today a lot. Okay, so that was a really nice rejection at R4 on Tesla. Let's see if it goes back up and retests it. So Cure did lose that 14 level, came right down, found low of day and bounced right off it. These are becoming a little bit range bound. Oracle's really hasn't done anything, just hanging around. Nvidia's not moved much since we had that nice run up for the first 15 minutes or so. And Tesla's looking like it might be finding a top here. Could be a decent short. I'm going to try a little bit here. So 405.50. See if we get just a small size, because I've had some really good trades this morning. I don't want to mess up my P&L here. So we'll just do a small trade see if we can get a run back down here. It might bounce off this previous day high, which is kind of an area we broke out from. So quite often you'll see stocks come back, call it check back to an area, a line that it broke out from here. Here we go.
Yeah, just like yesterday, we're going to end things at 10:30. We don't have any guests
Okay,
lined up for this week because everybody's traveling.
cool beans. Yeah, so yeah. Come on, Tesla. I want to see it. This is where it's going to bounce, if any place, right around this 405 level. There is this 9 EMA too that's sitting just below here, where it could also find support. Again, I always like to use that 9 EMA as a indication as to whether we're in an uptrend or a downtrend. Again, bounced right off that previous day high. That was right where that bounce happened. Yeah, Nvidia really just settling into a range here. Google kind of did this pullback, lost the VWAP, and now it's coming back up again. Surprised Nvidia is still pretty strong, given the fact that you got a few competitors here nipping at their heels. But I guess Nvidia still is the big dog. There's a big order at 410 on Tesla. I mean, if we break this high, I'll just get out of my small position here. I'm actually thinking I might add to it right now. Might add to the short. Yeah, Cure looks like it's heading lower. I've added it to just under 406 on Tesla. Let's see, it's going to retest this 405 level. There we go. Nice little ad there. I'm gonna cover some of it just to give myself some cushion now. That ad brought my average up a little bit. Now we're gonna go here. Gonna lose the 9 EMA. If we do lose this level right about where we are now, next area I would look for support would be somewhere around like 402, and that's the 20 EMA on the 2-minute chart. Qs are still pushing higher. SPY is still sitting near high of day. Q is the big index up today, 0.5%. Just trying to get some, just hanging on here, seeing if Tesla is going to lose this level, this 9 EMA average. It looks like it's going to. Nvidia's kind of rolled over a bit. We're down at the VWAP now. And they're trying to hold that level. Big orders just flashing around there. Some larger orders. I still think it's heading lower. It looking promising. Here we go. There we go. Just gonna cover some here. A little bit more. 4360. Patience, Richard Parker, patience, as we like to say. Yeah, look at, wow, BA is on fire, eh? Huh. Come on, let's get a nice move. Let's get another leg lower. One more leg lower. Come on, Tesla. Come on, you can do it. Come on down to 402. Uh, Yeah, you can trade Tesla with there's a lot of these ETFs that are out there. Saw someone in the room asking about TSLL, which is I believe the long version of like the ETF. And I believe there's also one that TSLS is also is that another one? Yeah, that's the Drexion daily Tesla bear. So you don't have to, you can trade these, all these funky ETFs that are out there right now. I'm sure there's got to be one for, I think there's one for MSTR. Okay, so I'm not liking the way we're kind of didn't break down on Tesla. Now we're going back up. So we're really hoping to see that 920 work out. I might just have to stop out of the rest here if we get much higher. Don't want to have a red trade here. QURE sort of slowly selling off here. Slowly leaking away. Coin is dropping. What is yeah, BA is showing up on the scanner. What have we got here for Bitcoin? Bitcoin's really choppy today. It's sort of hanging around 97,000. Oh, okay. Yeah, Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's still it's still struggling here. This little pop didn't amount to much. So we're still hanging on here. Last little bit for a drop. Like I said, I'm looking for 402. Oh, here we go. New low of day or new low on this cycle here. There we go. Now we're going to lose 403. Is there some news? What's the news on BA? It's up a lot. They fire another CEO. They found the door. Oh, okay. They're gonna. That's always a good reason to go up. So I see the news here. Boeing to lay off 400 employees as they cut 10% of their workforce. Okay, and I guess the other thing is they're starting 737 MAX production up again after this strike. Also, always takes a lot of time to get production lines ramped up again. Huh. This chart on Boeing kind of looks interesting. Maybe a good, might be a good swing trade, position trade. People are looking for something to put in their IRR or whatever they call it in the States, retirement fund. It's probably got some room to run to the upside. Let's take a boo. I'm going to look at that at the end of the day here. Maybe take a position. Might use options. I traded Boeing with options before. I shorted some puts when it was in having some challenges, or shorted some calls, I should say. We're not getting the pullback. Well, it kind of did get a pullback here to the 20. You know what? I missed the kind of that exit on Tesla. It did get back to the 20 EMA. Should have taken some off at 403 area. Yeah, Tesla or BA looks like in a very interesting area here. It's got we've got some levels here that it's just starting to break out from. Some prior areas of support that became resistance. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we're coming back down on Tesla again. Okay, well, maybe it'll work out. Maybe we'll get down to this VWAP line here. And with that, I think it's 10:30, so we will wrap things up here. Everybody, I hope you had a good day. There was a lot of trading opportunities, and like I said, you can always join us in the room, and you don't get that delay on YouTube. But always welcome, and always happy to see you guys out there. So take care, everybody. Have a good rest of the day. I'm just going to see where we're going with this Tesla trade. I'm going to see if we can get the VWAP. So if you're in there, hang on. Cheers, everyone.